It's the celebration of the baptism of Jesus this weekend, and as we realize, Jesus liturgically grows up pretty quickly. Last Sunday, the Magi were visiting him, and then there's this long period of 30 years of Jesus being obedient to the law and to his father and mother, staying at home, learning to trade. And for some reason, he goes off to be baptized, which was a rather weekly, 7 days on the Shabbat, Sabbath, to immerse oneself, according to the Jewish tradition, in the waters, remembering that they were baptized or refashioned as the people of God through going through the waters of the Red Sea. So that was a renewal of their being the chosen people of God. And maybe I've said that before, but the Exodus, going through the waters of their being reconstituted as the people of God, there's more written in Scripture about that than of the creation of the whole world. That's just in Genesis and referred to now and then. But creation of them as the people of God, that's a great celebration. And so they would go into the cleansing water for the ways they had not lived. It was like a confession, a public confession that they had not lived perfectly as the people of God. So Jesus goes in this is in Luke's Gospel today, goes into the waters as a member of the Jewish people, and he comes out differently. In Luke's Gospel and in Matthew's too, but we read Luke today, comes out something new has happened, a new creation. There's in a way, an intensification of God's people. To really understand today's gospel, one really has to read the first reading from Isaiah chapter 42. I know there are options, but the first option is from Isaiah 42, and it's there that you get a hint. Now, this is the prophet Isaiah, centuries before Jesus, saying, there's a light coming, but it's not just for you, Israel, it's for the people. And you see the image of light and people and nations, plural. So Jesus comes out as, and this is our theology, that Jesus comes out as the new Israel. And that the light is not, if you have a globe and you shine a light on the globe, it's just in that one place. Now the light surrounds the whole globe. Maybe that's an image of what Jesus is baptized to be and to do. And he comes out hearing that he is the beloved of this mysterious God. You are my beloved in whom I am well pleased. That is all of Israel, but now Jesus as the intensification of Israel. Israel, as the people of God, has now become global. That's it. That Jesus is not just for the land, the excluded. I'm going to use two words: inclusion and exclusion. But Israel was so fashioned in their minds that they were to exclude any contact with foreigners, Gentiles. And so it's funny, if there were, I shouldn't say funny, it's different, that if they had contact with a Gentile, that would be a reason to be washed into their identity again, to be exclusive, that they were the exclusive people of God, and they were to not have contact, they were to exclude all other peoples. Now Jesus comes out as the light for the world, and he becomes the inclusive embrace of the creating God. Creating the people of God is now Israel extended. It's not Israel is no longer the people of God. No, they are the people of God. That name, that inclusion is all of us. And so we are in a way the new Israel. And Jesus comes out to be inclusive. And he is told that he will be the man of justice, and he will bring healing. Now, that's what he did. He went around being who he was, doing who he was, including foreigners and people that were to be excluded because they had leprosy, because they were blind, because they were crippled. They were excluded, now they're included. Now that's a great thing to celebrate. If you've ever been excluded, think of that, pray with that, how sad that is. If you've ever been excluding yourself, that's something to face and to pray with. To exclude people because they have this political thought or that religious thought or that color or that language, to exclude them because they're different from you. It's my theory, I don't have any basis except observation, but the people who are excluding all the time, distancing themselves from those people, the more they exclude, the more there is something about themselves that they're not grateful for. There's something about them that is already excluded by them. Now, our baptisms is a renewal in the baptism of Jesus. Our baptisms is both entrance and mission. Every sacrament, as you know, the result of every sacrament is mission. Our mission is, and maybe I've said this before, but when you dip your hand in the holy water fount and you bless yourself, you are saying, I'm trying not to exclude anything of me that would keep me from being inclusive of others. And here's the hard part about baptism. Here's the hard part about living the Eucharist. The sacrament of baptism introduces us to a life that says, I am not totally my own anymore. I am not mine. I am me, but I am ours. I am meant for the mission of including, of inclusion, of embracing, of extending the light of Christ. Baptism is a dangerous sacrament because it's an encounter with myself. Is there anything in me that is not baptized, is not sacramental? Is there something I'm hiding that's going to keep me from including? Is there exclusion in my heart that keeps me from including others? That's something to pray with as we prepare to celebrate the Eucharist, as we celebrate my living the Eucharist. I am baptized into Jesus. That's right. I am baptized into Jesus, who was a man for others, incarnating the embrace of God to all of creation. So we are baptized to be includers. Nothing of myself is excluded. Nothing is unholy. It's all been baptized and made holy, and in every sacrament in every sacrament in a way it's a rebaptism. Like Jesus, the Jews going into the waters, reminding themselves, we go into the sacramental waters, whatever that sacrament is, Eucharist, reconciliation, marriage, whatever it is, we are again being baptized, not to just be a light for me, but the light that Jesus was for all the nations, for all the people, for all the languages, for all the color, for all the embrace of God, extending as a light. That's our part. That's how we live the Eucharist. That's why I say baptism is a dangerous sacrament, because it's dangerous not to be selfish. It is. It's very protective and safe to be selfish. To be inclusive? Yeah. Be careful. Or be caring. That's how we live the Eucharist. That's how we live all the sacraments. And that's the baptism of Jesus that's shared with us to be a light for all the people.